What's going on, fellas? This video is for Sean. Today's goal was to melt sand in an hour. This was a graphite crucible when this thing started. We did melt sand. You can see the little black spots where it just started to melt on us there. Collected a little pile of it here. But an hour and 7 minutes just wasn't long enough. You can see there we just started to melt. Just getting to that point. I am amazed at what we did to this graphite crucible. It basically has baked or burnt all of the graphite out of it. This is now just a clay pot. It's literally like bubbled up and boiling. So, at any rate, let's check out what we did this with. This stuff on the inside wall is completely vitrified, stuck to the walls. That will not come off. So we were right at the very minimum of 3,000 degrees there. Really close to the 3,100 degrees we need. We haven't tried propane yet. I do intend to do that. You can see it's pretty much melted all the sharp points off this sand and turned it into a bunch of little round beads. So I'm gonna have to find a better crucible, but for the most part I just wanted to show you guys the destruction that we did to this thing. Okay, it's 8:42. Getting ready to start this test. I got a graphite crucible full of silica sand. Not going to pay too much attention to the thermocouple this time. It doesn't really tell us much. This is the burner, the superheat burner with the preheat air coil. And this experiment's for Sean and his team. Let's hope we melt this sand with just this little bit amount of fuel we have here. We're still testing diesel today, and we'll be switching to propane if necessary. I'm hoping that the diesel can pull it off, because the propane equipment and the fuel is very expensive. I think it's kind of weird to light this far away. heating would have to be in the 400-degree range in order to get the metal that hot. I could be wrong, but I mean, you would think that if you were passing 224-degree air through that air line, that metal would not measure 224 degrees. It would be cooler because of the external environment and all. But my past experience, I would suggest that preheat air is at least 400 degrees to make that metal that hot. So it's 9:49, 1 hour and 7 minutes. We burnt 2 gallons of diesel fuel, a little bit over 2 gallons, not by much though. Damn. Oh, that is so hot. Okay, I just realized I better take the crucible out now while it's still hot, because it will weld to that ceramic blanket if it hasn't already, and it has. So that right there, guys, proves that we're getting to 2,700 degrees or so. This thing is still cooking hot. Yeah, we melted some 2,700 degree fire blanket there. It is vitrified. Look what it did to that crucible. Unbelievable. Now, Sean, this is what I was talking about, brother. This is a graphite crucible. A graphite clay crucible. And we were hitting temperatures capable of doing this in an hour. I guarantee you if that was metal in here, we would have some serious liquid metal. We might have melted through the graphite crucible. So we'll find out what the temperature limit is of that crucible. I believe I purchased this from the link that you provided me. So this is what you were getting into. Wow, no wonder my phone overheated. There's so much heat kicking off of this thing. It's still 800 degrees. Incredible. All right, guys, here we are. We got these little pieces of glass. So we were indeed starting to melt. You can see all through here little spots that were just starting to melt on us. Yeah. It's just starting to melt. So, it's definitely going to take longer than an hour with the diesel. That still may be cheaper than the propane. All that stuff is stuck on the crucible wall. It's melted. That will not come off. I even picked at it with a screwdriver. That is like melted glass. So, this is what's left of my graphite crucible. So, we're reaching temperatures that this crucible cannot withstand. Not sure this would have worked. It seems to be melting at the same temperature as the sand. So I'm going to call that a pass. It would take longer to do it, but we were definitely melting sand here. Pure silica sand with no additives. So that right there indicates we were probably right in the 3,000 degree range. Here's the other crucible again for comparison. I just thought it'd be cool while we're at it to show. I still don't know whether or not we were actually boiling glass. I want to say no because it still looks a little grainy. This was without the air preheat. So you know we can make glass with that. And this was in 7 minutes. 7 to 9 minutes, I think. So Tell me what you guys think, Sean. I think this torch is definitely going to be able to do the job. I can't imagine what this would have looked like in an hour. So this had some baking soda in it, and this was without the baking soda. The grains have definitely changed. I think what I'll do is get a before and after. I need to find some of that sand and take a look at it. So this was 2400 degree refractory. I'm sorry, I thought it was a 2700. I did not spring for the good stuff, it turns out. It has been vitrified. That is glass. Unfortunately, I don't think I had a good before clip of this crucible. It looked just like a pencil lead before I got a hold of it. But as I said, carbon burns, so I'm assuming that's what's happened here. We have burnt all of the carbon out of this crucible. We have melted ceramic blanket to the bottom of it. So this torch is definitely going to do the job. We haven't even tried propane yet. I will be doing that, but I just wanted to show you guys. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? We pretty much started to melt the wall of a graphite crucible. That's pretty impressive. I think given a little more time, the diesel will definitely melt pure silica sand. However, based on what we just saw, I know for a fact propane will increase the temperature by possibly 200 degrees based on previous testing. I'm going to go back in my lab book and look at the numbers, but I'm pretty sure we can get another 200 degrees out of that burner using propane. At the least, it's worth a try at this point. But I want you guys to check this video out. Tell me what your team thinks about melting the sidewall of that crucible. That means we're hitting our target temperature. I'm going to double check and make sure, but we just needed more time. However, I don't think that crucible would have survived. By the time you start melting sand, you're melting crucible. Silica sand has a melting point in the 3100 degree range. That's really pushing the limits of what's possible, even with available refractory and crucibles. Like I said, that's 2700 degree refractory, I think, the blanket, and we melted it.